Hello everyone! Hello everyone! Trying to find a picture. Trying to find a picture. For our lovely background. For our lovely background. I'm still getting it set up, y'all. I'm still getting it set up, y'all. I'm sorry. But most of you aren't here yet. Most of you aren't here yet. Anyway, so we're safe. We're safe. Trying to find a cute saloon pic. Fortunately, all the saloons have like goyles in them. But at least I tried. That would actually be more fun. Honestly. Let's do this one instead. Y'all ready to see the magic of the green screen not working? Oh, there's an echo. Video capture device. Let me know if that fixed the echo. No. Let's see. Browse. You. Okay. Well, I like it. I have no idea who this random person is.
It's essentially a form of tater tot. Hi.
Yeah. Hand me a can of water.
Do you care what flavor?
No.
Okay. They're in here. Yes. Blue. Every time I see this, I just think of Take Me On.
Why?
Oh, be go because it's in the name of the band.
Aha. So I drink carbonated water because I like the way it tastes. This is peach honey. It's good. Aha's been a new brand, I guess, that Coca-Cola launched. Yeah. Other flavors are good. They do combo flavors, not just individual flavors. So. But anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to tea. Eventually. I don't know what time it is. I know it's after 3, and I apologize. It's been weird today, so it was weird yesterday too. Also, if there's a slight breeze, that's because we're out in not really balmy southwest towns. This is make more sense later when Bill and I record. So will my cowboy boots. But yeah. So today at tea, or yesterday at tea, I mentioned that the reason tea was late is because I was out foraging. And so while I was out foraging, we collected, I think, 4 different edible weeds. And I had this big, long discussion about, learning how to forage actually helps us understand food ways and stuff. And let me grab a book real quick. I actually got this book for my partner for Christmas. This was our Christmas Eve book. We do that Christmas Eve thing. You get a book and a bar of chocolate. At least we do now. And we're going to continue to do it. But anyway, this is reverse. So this is the sous chef indigenous kitchen. And it's all these really great recipes about how to make food using traditional native ingredients, native to the US ingredients. And not all of the recipes are necessarily authentic indigenous recipes. They're just using ingredients that would have been available at the time. Because there's like buffalo tartare. But it does talk a lot about using various types of wild plants and natural seasonings and mushrooms and corn and different ways of preparing food that would have been how it would have been done before stoves. I don't know. Anyway, this book is really helpful because in the Elder Scrolls Online game there are several different indigenous groups. I don't know, can you be indigenous to a video game? But anyway, they're supposed to represent the culture groups that existed before the civilized culture groups. And I know that's how that's supposed to be portrayed because of the way that they portray the characters in the game. A really great example of something that I saw while I was playing, I think it was yesterday, that I felt was very problematic, but that's me, you guys take it the way you want, was the way that the wood elves were being presented. And the wood elf style type, or there's another style type in there that's literally called primitive, and it's mostly fur and bone and leather and that kind of stuff. So I think that's a sensitivity failure on the end of Bethesda, but I understand what they're trying to get at. They're trying to show that these particular groups live closer to the land, are more in tune with nature, that kind of thing. I think we need to start requesting that our games and our books move away from, and our artwork moves away from this concept of the savage that was never actually accurate in the first place, and start being a bit more realistic in representing the past in a pictorial and interactive way. But anyway, so this is why I'm not allowed to have things in my hands when I talk, because they just go everywhere. Anyway, so basing recipes on this book using the ingredients here, because I am in North America and I am on the, I can never remember, northeast area, Pacific Northeast. No, I think Pacific Northeast is up in Canada. I'm really bad at this. Oh yeah? Well, I don't have the leather jacket. Oh, well, you said or, not and, so hang on. Don't call me out, man. Anyway, so that's going to be one of the handy books that we're going to be using when we're recreating some of the indigenous recipes. Right now, I think I mentioned yesterday, I'm focusing mostly on the indigenous group for Vardale. Please forgive me, I can't pronounce any of these names, but the Morrowind area. And they're called the Ashlanders, and I'm just kind of obsessed with them right now because, like, Morrowind was my gateway drug game into the Elder Scrolls franchise, and so, like, I have a soft spot for it. And, you know, now that they've expanded, you know, they expanded Morrowind onto the Elder Scrolls. That's actually when I joined the online game, because I was like, ooh, Morrowind. And so, yeah, so one of my mains, I got two right now. One of my mains is actually a Dunmer, and I've been playing her for several years. That's not true. 2 years? Maybe 3? Maybe 3. Anyway, the point being, I really like the Dunmer and the split of the Dunmer culture, the Dunmers into two cultures that are distinct but paired together and that kind of stuff. So I'm just fascinated by it, and so because of that I decided to tackle their foodways first, and so that's why we're doing this. But as I play more in the game and I realize that there's a difference between the city-dwelling Dunmer and the indigenous Dunmer, who are called Ashlanders. I've become more fascinated with who the Ashlanders are and who the Ashlanders are based on, and they're of course nomadic, and they're this and they're that. And again, like I said yesterday, Bethesda is not really basing these culture groups off of any one real life group in general. From what I can tell, they've kind of just pieced things together. They're like, oh, we want to make them nomadic. You know, what kind of nomadic traits are there? They decided to go with a yurt style of housing for the Ashlanders to show that they're nomadic, but that doesn't mean that they're Mongolian, so blah blah blah, which was my original thought. I thought that they were basing the Ashlanders off of the Mongolians, and they're not. Did I dribble everywhere? I have a drinking problem. So anyway, this was a very long way of me telling you that yesterday after we went foraging, one of the plants we brought back was the dandelion. Words. And one of the first things that I did when we got back was I made dandelion fritters. And what a dandelion fritter is the head of a dandelion dipped in batter and then fried. And so I used Bisquick because you can't find flour around here anymore. Fun times, everybody. But anyway, so these are the little fritters I ended up with. And that's an entire, there it is, dandelion head in there, dipped in batter, and then just, fried until it was done on both sides. And then yesterday we were eating them with a little bit of syrup, but you could really easily make like a sour cream dip and dip them in there. They don't really have a lot of flavor. They don't really taste like anything in particular. They kind of taste like whatever you dip them into. So it's kind of like a poor man's flatbread. And they were really easy to make. They cooked a lot faster than I thought they were going to. And in all honesty, next time I make them, I'll probably use more than one head per fritter just because it'll make them a little bigger. And my boyfriend also has this really great recipe for sweet potato fritters. Or pumpkin fritters. So we were thinking next time we make a batch of the pumpkin fritters that we're actually going to throw the dandelion heads in there too. So you don't taste the dandelion at all. Like, there's no dandelion flavor for me to comment on, so. They taste like whatever batter you used. But they're supposed to be high in protein. Probably from all the bugs. They're dry as hell unless they have something to be dipped in, but that's really the batter I used. I just used some Bisquick because, like I said, that's what I had on hand. So there's that. I also have tater tots with cheese on the top because that's my lunch. I know this is not a very traditional tea. But how long have we been? Okay, cool. Some of the other things we've been exploring throughout the week has been processing all of the plants that we have been harvesting, and that kind of falls into the realm of experimental archaeology because we're using practices for preservation that would have been more in use before modern appliances like the refrigerator or the freezer. So we've got a batch of pickles going, and we pickled some of the mustard greens that we harvested. They're garlicky mustard greens, and we pickled them yesterday, and we opened the container today, and my partner opened them in the kitchen. And I was in our bedroom and I could smell them. Now we're in a really small 1-bedroom apartment, so it's not like it traveled a long distance, but they were still pretty strong. And they smelled really good. So I'm looking forward to eating those with some rice, but there's that. So that was my exciting day yesterday. It's really all we did yesterday. It's we're getting to the point where we're finding ways to entertain ourselves at this point, and we're running out of topics. We will be, myself and one of my co-hosts, Bill Octor, will be watching The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch later on today, as you can tell from my lovely background, which I may switch out. There was another one I saw that I really liked. So I may switch out the background, but I've got my pith helmet. I'm actually going to be switching this out for my felt fedora, and I will have cowboy boots on because I was told last time that I wasn't dressed appropriately to be out in the Southwest, and Bill did go out of his way to wear a fedora, and it was really funny. And we did enjoy watching the show together because camaraderie. The show is interesting. We've only seen the first episode because that's all that's been released. I still have not read Jason Colavito's review of the show, but I will be doing that today before we watch the second one because I like Jason's insights into things, and since I've already watched the show, I don't have to worry about him coloring my opinion, but it will also inform me going into the next episode, so that'll be kind of fun. And we'll just be watching the show and commenting on it. I may try to live stream it, but it will not be able to be live streamed on YouTube because YouTube does not like you doing that, apparently. So we'll be live streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and Periscope, and kind of liking Periscope, actually. It's kind of neat. But yeah, that's really all I've got going. If people have ideas that they would like to ask an archaeologist or questions that they would like an archaeologist to go over, please don't ask me what my favorite site is, and don't do the whole like, what's your favorite artifact that you've ever found? Think deeper, people, think deeper. So I'll be trying to find some more like archaeological topics so people can sit down and talk. Because originally I thought I was just going to be reviewing TV shows and YouTube videos, but apparently YouTube doesn't like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll still do it and just not stream to YouTube and then get copyright struck when I upload it to YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But Twitch doesn't seem to have these issues, and that's great. So we'll just keep sticking with Twitch. If you're watching me somewhere else, I'm not saying you'd have to watch me on another channel. I'm just saying if you would like to watch me on another channel, that could happen. But I will be posting all of the videos later here on YouTube, assuming they don't shut my account down for some stupid reason. And yeah, I'm a maverick. Mainly I'm just somebody who doesn't really understand how YouTube works completely, so whatever. And yeah, so I showed you my fritters. We talked a little bit about local harvesting of plants. Everything we harvested is considered invasive to the area that we're in, so we don't have to worry about over-harvesting and damaging the crop. The local ecology, it actually is supposedly helpful to the local ecology. I don't think we could eat enough garlicky mustard greens to really put a significant dent in the mustard green population in this area. But, I feel like I'm doing my part. And yeah, so again, if you guys have any actual questions... Ooh, Berkshire. Nice. Berkshire in the US or Berkshire overseas? Because there's several Berkshires in the United States, so... We stole all of our names. That's not all of them, just most of them. But yeah, if you guys have any questions you want me to answer, or you've come across some interesting pseudo-archaeology topics, or you want to talk ancient aliens, or mysteries of Oak Island, or lost giants, or what's the other things I do? Aliens, giants, lost cities, you want to talk Atlantis, paranormal. I do a lot of paranormal stuff. Overseas, yay! Hello! That was my really crappy fake British accent. Hello! Don't. I know it's horrible. I'm sorry. It's required by law that I do that. Ooh. That's a good one. Favorite historical diet? Diet in the idea of I am dieting to improve my health diet. That would be probably the cornflakes diet from around the Victorian era, where they were convinced that if they ate bland food, it would kill their libido, and for some reason that was desirable by the Victorians. They were weird freaking people. As far as, food ways of eating, I really like going back to the various different kinds of indigenous eating styles that were alive and well in the United States before contact, just because they were surprisingly well-rounded, surprisingly nutritious. I mean, surprisingly in that, we're kind of taught, oh, these people didn't understand X, Y, Z, so how could they have understood nutrition? And it's like, yeah, they actually really did understand nutrition, and they understood food as medicine. And so a lot of the things that they ate were also medicinal at the same time. Yeah, so my answer to that question would be like indigenous eating foodways. So, and pretty much anywhere in the United States, I'm kind of interested in it. The Three Sisters are always a fun story to talk about. Potato crops in the South American area are really, really interesting to me because there are so many kinds of indigenous potatoes that I didn't realize existed, and they're all these crazy colors, and they each one meant a different thing based on the color of the potato. So there was a whole culture built around that. Grains are always interesting because, of course, there's a lot of groups that were not exactly agriculturalists, but they did practice cultivation. So they would encourage a crop to grow wildly in an area and then come back to that spot later and harvest those crops as they were working their way around their the area that they lived in. So that's always really fascinating. And so like you also come across foods that were only eaten at certain times because those were the times when you were near the food source. But yeah, I just think it's really interesting because they really had this crap worked out. Famine wasn't really something, I mean, it's something that could occur, but they'd really kind of figured out how to not have to suffer through a famine just because they, by the point that we got over here, they had already figured out how to, manage their food systems. So I don't know, it's just always fascinating to me. It's also something that has almost been completely wiped out since our arrival because we're assholes. And yeah, but so there you go. Diets are always fun to talk about. Food is always good to talk about. Clearly I enjoy food, and it's not going to change anytime soon, so there you go with that. I do, however, need to get ready for the recording of Skinwalker Ranch, The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, episode 2. We're doing a react to it. I'll ask Bill if he's okay with a live react, and if he is, if you're watching on Twitch, Periscope, or Facebook, we will be back, and we won't be on YouTube, but I'll post an edited version of it up on YouTube in a few weeks, so sorry about that, but come watch us on Twitch, or come watch us on Twitter, or come watch us on Facebook. That's all I can say. I've probably already been struck from YouTube for saying that, but anyway. See everybody in a little bit, and if not, I will see you tomorrow at 3, or at least close to the 3 p.m. EST time for tea time on Thursday. Talk to everybody later.